then we're going to build a cube scaffold tower out of these plastic tubes. Standard, which we've got in red. Your ledger, which we've got in white. Your transom, which we have in blue. Your sway brace, which we have in yellow. And your plan brace, which we have in black. The first one, the red one, is a standard. Standards are the ones that go from the ground upwards. This is a standard, so we need 2 standards. And then we need a white one. This is called a ledger. Ledgers, they go across the standards. So what I'll do, I will connect these now to the standards using zip ties. Zip ties work like this. When you have a zip tie, there's a block on the end. And the block on the end, the big bit should be down, not up, because if you put your zip tie that way, it will not work. You must have your zip tie that way it works. So we'll start by putting the first one on. We're going to put 2 zip ties on each corner. So we will need to connect the ledger to the standard. So I'm just going to put this loosely on so I know where it goes basically, and just lightly pull them together. So roughly that's approximately where we're going to have that. Right then, I've done one side, try square them up, keep them as level as I can on both sides. Doesn't look too bad. Now I've got to make another one of those, so I'll put that on one side. So now I've got to join these 2 pieces together with transoms. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring these 2 together. So I'll put that like that, and I'm going to put a transom on. We connect the transom on top of the ledger, and we connect it to the standard. And it works exactly the same way as what you've just done the others. You go round the transom and back round the ledger, round the standard. It gets a little bit fiddly this side, as you can see. This is the fiddly bit. And you think it's all falling and collapsing everywhere, but you've just got to bear with it. Don't pull these too tight because you might have to adjust them. Right then, we've got our basis of a cube. Now we want to try and get it all tight and level as we can before we actually put the sway braces on, which go on the sides of the cube. I'm just checking all the corners to make sure there's enough overhang on each corner and it's all equal if at all possible. Now what we plan to do now is to put what we call these on. These are called sway braces. So these sway braces go on and they're joined to the transoms, which are these are transoms. They're ledgers, they standards, these sway braces. So these sway braces will go on roughly about there. So as you can see there, I'm going to have to bring those in a little touch so that we can get those on. So what I'll do, I'll bring the top one in a touch. When you think it's about right, have another check of it. Some might need a little bit more than the others, so when you think it's about square and about right, roughly like that, then you can check your sway braces on again. So like I say, your sway braces will go on your transoms. And how they want your transoms is, they start off on your transom and they go below the top transom and they go above the bottom transom like that. And that's how we connect these sway braces on first. So we'll connect them to the transoms first. So first things first, I'll put the top one on first. Now don't worry if it falls out, because it's just a tendency to fall out while you're putting the clip on, while you're putting the zip tie on, because there's nothing holding it, so it could possibly fall out, but don't worry too much about that. Not too tight, because you might just have to do some adjusting. These plan braces, these braces here, they're the sway braces on the sides. These plan braces, one of them is going to go on the top and one of them is going to go on the bottom, opposite ways. And we're going to attach them to the ledgers. So I'm going to attach this first one to the ledger. It might not look as if it's in square at the present moment in time, but what we'll do is, because all the the ties are loose at the moment. So what I'm going to do is make sure all the components are on first, then make sure it's all nice and level. Then as I tighten all the zip ties up and straighten up, it will come together then. So don't worry about it not looking square at this present moment in time, because that's the way it goes. Right, basically that is it now. I've got to tighten everything up, make sure everything's square and tighten everything up. And basically that is your tower. And what you've got to do now is tidy it all up by cutting all the ends off with a pair of snips, and that is your cube tower.